What is up, my frosty brethren? My name is Arctic, and today I'm bringing you guys some Overwatch gameplays. Some of that OV. We're playing on a new map, Nepal, and you know, this is one of their new objectives. It feels very much so like King of the Hill. I would say it's almost verbatim King of the Hill, just copy pasted. More along the lines of NX style King of the Hill than traditional King, where you have to sit in the point. I'm not 100% confirmed on that because I've only played it like 4 or 5 times at max. And most of the time I'm a Slayer. I've played a tank once on this particular mode, and I've played Reaper, I think, mostly on this mode. So first off, Nepal has, and each of these has 3 different sections. So the very first section, if you win, you go to the second. If you win the second, it's over. So it's basically best of 3 on this particular, or on maps that have this particular objective. Nepal has a very tight space in the first one, which you guys see here. The second one kind of opens up, and the third is another really tight space with not a high ceiling, and it just feels kind of tight and crammed in that one. The second one is very open, and this first one you guys see is not necessarily tight and crammed. There's a lot of kind of narrow hallways. There's a lot of lines of sight breaks that you can do with this particular section, which makes Reaper a very, very good hero on this map in this first section, which I've used him now. I think of the 4 times I've played this map, I've picked Reaper 3 times and just absolutely destroyed people on this first section, which you guys are going to see in some of these highlights that I have here, just going ham a lot on the hill. And he's just able to manipulate the corridor space with his Wraith form and getting around corners and then resetting and forcing someone to push into you, and then you just shotgun him in the face pretty much. It's really fun to play him on this section of the map. I guess one of the things I want to talk about a little bit besides the Reaper is that I'm not 100% sure whether or not this game mode is one that will fully realize all of the heroes. I think there can be some really good compositions, but for the most part, I feel like this ends up being more like a Slayer mode than an objective mode. Like, you could run a tank, and we've done that. There was actually a game where I switched tank because we had this guy that was bitching about I was #1 Slayer on our team, and he just kept riling on whoever was our tank, and I ended up switching to Roadhog. It's kind of like an off tank, right? So I could continue to put in a lot of support, but also get on the hill. And I just felt like at some level I would rather just capture the point than set up and just slay the hell out of the other team. I feel like that is more the way people are going to end up playing this mode. So it ends up just being like, let me get 1 tank and a healer, and then everybody else go your best Slayer, and we're just going to duke it out. It doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't have that objective feel to me. It just feels like, domination or something like that in Call of Duty, where basically you're just running around trying to get 100 kills. So I mean, I guess this game kind of needs that a little bit, but I don't know, for me, after playing Payload, it just doesn't quite sit well. That being said, it's still fun. It's still fun. I'm not saying that it's not fun. It's still very fun, but it's just something that I think I would steer clear of. So second section of this particular map, if you guys saw, I basically won that round for us with the ult in there, with Reaper ripping them up, taking them out, and then winning that objective and going on to round number 2. Okay. So round 2, I was going to play Junkrat because I wanted to try him out in this section. I usually pick him, like I said, I think I said, for round 3. But instead, I was like, you know what? This is open space. I want to really try to nail down how Pharah should play on this section. So I ended up picking Pharah. And, I like the concept of Pharah, but I think because, and maybe this is just, I don't know if it's just because this gets now stale to me. Maybe because I played so much UT, I played so much Quake, I played so many games where rocket projectile type of gameplay is really dominant, that Pharah is not as appealing as she should be to me. She feels like a really easy basic character if you understand leading rocket projectiles. Tribes is another game I played a whole lot of. It's all projectiles for Tribes, but it feels very much so like one of those characters. And it's not that I don't like that gameplay. I just know there's other games that do it better. and it's more fun for me. And so Pharah is just like one of those heroes that doesn't call out to me. That's all I'm gonna say. She can be fun, and in this particular gameplay and some of the other gameplays I've had using her, this is like my 5th time using her ever. It's fun. It's fun to use her, but her gameplay isn't something that I feel wild about. Like, she has a knockback on her E. Sure, it's like rocket juggling, right? And then the whole aerial thing, leading targets, and getting aerial rockets though is so satisfying. Let me just tell you guys that I got a couple now that have just been wicked on some people, and quite embarrassing. So I mean, I do like that aspect of it, but I think there's so many other heroes that kind of appeal to me, and I want to learn how to play them more than I want to learn how to play a character that I already have played in different shooters, and it's just not as appealing to me. So I know that like Pharah is in my wheelhouse of characters that I could play just by natural association to other games, but it's not a character that I necessarily want to learn to play in Overwatch, because there's so many other heroes that I think would be more fun for me and more challenging. So anyway, after that little rant, one of the things that I really like about Pharah in this open space is because there's no ceiling, you can really get a lot of great change of verticality, like against your opponents, and it really makes them like have to aim a whole lot when you're facing them. And then her whole little like hover rocket thing is excellent as you're coming from a high distance and you're kind of floating in the air and continuing to hit, you know, people with those rockets, kind of juggle them around. It makes it really challenging in this particular area, just like I said, because of the open space. There's a lot of different areas that have like the top of the ceiling on. The actual point is really high. You can bounce off of that. There's a couple other areas where you'll see like some snipers sitting, particularly Widowmaker. I've seen Hanzo sitting on a couple spaces where you can kind of rocket even above them as you jump off the ledge that they're sitting on, and then look down at them and kill them. So it just makes for some really interesting dynamic gameplay. So that's all I wanted to talk about with this particular match. I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. I'm gonna have plenty more. I'm gonna start delving out and working out how I'm going to break down these heroes, or who I'm playing, and how I can provide some input and tips and stuff for you guys on how you want to play them. So hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. If you did, please make sure to leave a like, and until the next time, folks, I will catch you all later. Stay frosty. If you like this video, you should probably click on the one down below. That'll take you to another video. You may like it. A little bit about me. I'm a former pro player. I play PC and console, mostly shooters. I also have a gaming podcast. I do tips and tactics, live gameplays. Check out my Twitch. Also, I work in the industry. Why are you not subscribed?